Hey gamers, welcome back to Creative Gamers. Today we're checking out the brand new Winlator V10 final update, and it's a massive one, especially for those of you using Mali GPU devices. But even if you're on a Snapdragon device like me, there are plenty of improvements you'll want to know about. We'll also test out GTA 5 at the end, so stay tuned. If you're new here, Winlator is an Android app that lets you run full Windows games and apps on your phone using Wine and Box 64. It's like having a tiny Windows PC right inside your Android device. Great for gaming on the go. So, what's new in version 10 final? First, we've got a smoother and faster task manager that makes managing apps way easier. There's a new GPU info shortcut added in the start menu that lets you check your GPU details with just one tap. The update also brings in missing GStreamer plugins, which means better video and audio playback inside your apps and games. And lastly, there's now support for configuring Vortex, Winlator's rendering engine, giving you more control over how games run. Now, I personally don't use a Mali device, but if you do, this update is a total game changer. Mali users finally get full GPU support, and there are fixes for those annoying vertex explosion bugs and T-pose animation glitches in DirectX 9 games. They've also added support for more texture formats, so games that looked weird before will now render correctly. On top of that, some games that used to freeze right at startup now load up just fine. This version also improves compatibility with Mesa Zinc, which means better rendering overall, and you'll probably notice smoother gameplay right away. And just a quick tip, if you're testing any game on a Mali device, make sure to use the Vortex driver for the best results. But the good news doesn't stop there. Whether you're using Mali or Snapdragon, you'll still benefit from a bunch of enhancements. The update brings in Box 64 V0.3.4, giving better performance across the board. There's now native glibc integration to improve file read-write speed, and the registry editor has been optimized to speed up container startup. You can now open the Android browser from within Wine, share your clipboard between Android and Wine apps, use an external mouse with pointer capture, and there are some cool network tweaks to help games start up more reliably. Alright, now let's talk about my test with GTA 5 on my Snapdragon device. First, open Winlator and wait for it to finish setting up the system files. Once that's done, click on the menu, then go into Settings. Set your cursor speed to the maximum for smoother control. Next, under the Box 64 version, select V0.3.2. This is important because newer versions aren't stable for GTA 5. Then set the Box 64 preset to Performance. Go back to the home page and create a new container. Name it anything you want. Set the screen resolution to 1280x720 for better compatibility. For the graphics driver, if you're using any processor, you can choose the Vortex Universal Driver, which now has customization options thanks to the new update. But if you're using a Snapdragon processor like me, I recommend selecting Turnip. Now for DX Wrapper, set it to DXVK, and in the settings, choose the version which is 1.10.3. Set the audio driver to Pulse Audio. If you want to see the FPS during gameplay, turn on the Show FPS option. Next, go into Advanced Settings, and again, set the Box 64 preset to the one we edited earlier. Scroll down and in the Startup section, set it to Aggressive. Make sure to tick all processor affinity options, then save your settings. After that, open the container you just created. Tap on back and toggle full screen on. Now navigate to your GTA 5 game files and open the gta5.launcher.exe. Wait for the game to load up. Once it opens, tap back again, go to Controls, and import the GTA 5 control file. And that's how you set up GTA 5 on Winlator V10 Final. It might look like a long process at first, but once you go through it step by step, it becomes pretty easy. The key is using the right settings, especially choosing the correct Box 64 version and graphics driver depending on your device. Like I said earlier, the performance for GTA 5 hasn't drastically improved with this update, but the stability and customization options are a big win. Now just a heads up for Mali GPU users, even though this update brings major improvements for Mali devices, GTA 5 is still not fully supported. You may run into heavy graphical glitches or rendering issues. This game is just too demanding for Mali-based GPUs right now, even with the Vortex driver. So if you're on Mali, I'd recommend testing lighter games first to take full advantage of the new optimizations. If you're planning to try other games, this update should also help with titles like Dino Crisis, Hitman, and other DirectX 9 games, especially if you had startup issues before. Just follow the same container setup logic, tweak settings as needed, and test different drivers to find what works best for your device. Also, every phone reacts a bit differently, so don't be afraid to experiment. And if you run into bugs or have questions, drop them in the comments. I try to reply to as many as I can. Lastly, if this video helped you out, make sure to leave a like. It really supports the channel. And if you're into mobile gaming, modding, or emulation, hit that subscribe button for more in-depth guides and gameplay tests. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.